Hi, this is the film Mount of Virginity. The life of a timid introvert changes dramatically after he brought the girl during a snowstorm. He just needs a giant riser to break through this fat. The film begins with the appearance of the protagonist, a guy named Fuxi, who works as a loader at the airport. He rolls across the concrete field, dragging not only the load of the past years and emotional luggage, but also banal carts with suitcases. In the next scene, he is going to eat with chocolate balls with milk. Champion breakfast for dinner. His mother at the same time makes sandwiches for tomorrow's work shift. The next day brings another monotonous shift in loading and unloading luggage. In their free time, Fuxi, as it should be for a decent asocial household, is played in table wargame, building tank clinning according to history textbooks. The next scene finds the hero in the toy store. A new all-terrain vehicle on the radio is purchased. The hero carries him home. On the road, a neighbor's girl is interested in for whom he carries a toy, but the guy has no answer. Opening the door, Fuxi finds his mother in an intimate business. To avoid even more awkwardness, he leaves to test the machine on a snowy street. Why does a neighbor's girl find him? After making sure that Hahal named Rolf left, the guy returns home. In the evening, while Mom makes her friend a hairstyle, Fuxi goes to visit the Mordor, with whom he plays the party in wargame. One of the sons of Mordor wants to play with them, but Dad forbids. These toys are not for children. After, adults smoke schmal, discussing the latest news. In particular, the Great Cross Perepeshon caught Fuxi. The conversation comes to hypnotists that can erase shocking memories. The next morning, clearing the light Scandinavian snowball, Fuxi notices how Rolf wanders around his table, touching the figure without demand. He goes inside to ask not to do this, and straightens the combat flanks of the plastic army. The man in response advises him to pay more attention to real life, and not the reconstruction of the glorious battles of the past. In particular, he recommends finding a girlfriend on the internet. At work, colleagues are discussing Fuxi behind their backs. They take away headphones from him to ask a question about his personal life, but he literally leaves the answer. Then the annoyed bullying throws the headphones in the back. In the next scene, the hero in the cafe makes an order from the series, as usual. The waiter automatically removes the second devices for uselessness. After dinner, Fuxi sits in a car on the banks of the river, listening to heavy rock on the radio, which he ordered from DJ. Fuxi's birthday comes. The homegrown stepfather gives him a cowboy hat and a certificate for dancing lessons, where the hero will be able to shake the bodies and get acquainted with new people. At the work of Fuxi, the boss calls to discuss a delicate issue. Are colleagues mocking him? Despite the frank hostility on their part, the hero does not betray anyone. Returning home, he finds a neighbor's girl on the stairs. She lost the keys and cannot get home. The guy invites the child to him to feed. After a pie with milk, the girl plays with his collection figures and models for wargame until her father returns. In the evening, the mother and Rolf collect Fuxi for dancing, despite his reluctance to go there. Having reached the hall, the hero timidly enters, where the rest of the students have already gathered. After watching how they have fun, Fuxi turns around and leaves. He sits in a car and pulls time, listening to the radio and talking on the phone, while a light snow baron slowly walks outside the window. Having waited for the end of the dance, the guy notices a lonely girl, who is the last. A girl named Scion through the snow approaches his car and asks to give a lift home. On the way, she tries to talk to him, but the timid Fuxi, who does not have sufficient experience in social interaction, does not answer. He admits that he also had to go to dancing, but did not dare. The fellow traveler invites him to the next lesson, and he awkwardly agrees. In the afternoon, Fuxi discusses with the Mordor models of tanks when Rolf is interested in how classes passed. The old man asks to show him what he learned, but according to his strange answers, it becomes clear to adults that he did not go to any dances. After a hard-working day, his colleagues are again lifting him into a shower to wash. Fuxi paints the figures when a neighbor's girl calls the door. She invites him to visit because she has no other friends in the district. They recently moved. Although not immediately, he agrees, pushing the BC into the shower to wash. The girl asks the hero why he does not have a wife. She believes that he is simply shy, although her dad calls him crazy all over his head, about which the child with children's spontaneity tells Fuxi. Gathering in the evening to dancing, the hero promises to her mother to bring a soldering lamp from work. She needs it to cook a French dessert. In his first lesson, Fuxi not only diligently repeats the movement, as the teacher tells, but also stares at Cien. After classes, they go for a walk together. The hero invites the girl to his favorite cafe where he visits every Friday. Then they go to his favorite place on the shore, where Fuxi, using friendship with DJ, orders her favorite song on the radio, shyly leaving the car to talk. The song makes a favorable impression on the girl, although the guy himself diligently timid. In the end, Cien invites him to tea, but he refuses, citing the fact that he does not drink this noble drink. Having landed a girlfriend and driving away, Fuxi understands that he had a little dull. He returns and calls the doorbell to drink milk. In the course of a relaxed one-way conversation, the girl is interested in where he works, telling along the way that she loves traveling. The hero answers monosyllables, not knowing how to maintain friendly chatter, but returns home, smiling joyfully. Having dragged the promised soldering lamp from work, Fuxi, in the kitchen, warms up the French dessert of his girlfriend with his mother. Women discuss his recent return later, implying that he had a date. At work, one of the colleagues, Zadir, asks him to see what is with the car. While Fuxi is picking under the hood, he apologizes for the trick in the shower and invites the hero to a party on Saturday. True, his remorse is caused by the fact that the boss asked uncomfortable questions. During a visit to a hobby friend, Fuxi discusses a recent date with him. However, Mordor scares him that the period of the date is the worst for a man, because you need to constantly invent how to surprise the girl. His words sink the hero into the soul. Fuxi, knowing her passion for travel, goes to the travel agency in order to fly abroad, where it is warm and sunny. Then he goes to a flower shop where Cien works, but she had long fired from there. Fuxi is waiting for a girl near the house when she returns from work on a garbage truck. He calls the door to talk, but the girl shuts the door in front of him angrily. The guy again presses the call button to say that he doesn't matter where she works. This melts the ice between them. Then Fuxi invites her on a trip to Egypt. The girl is interested in whether he ordered one number or two different ones, placing dots over "and." There can be nothing between them. On Saturday, he goes with his colleagues to a party, which begins with a match to paintball. Then they are culturally thumping in the apartment. Soon, an invited stripper appears, arranging a professional show. After the obligatory program, the guys pay the girl to sleep with Fuxi, but the hero refuses and wants to leave. Then the others pushes him into the bedroom to undress, but he resists. Using the advantages in the mass, the hero easily scatters a nap and hits finally turned into his face. In the morning, a hangover, he asks his mother to call work and take sick leave. Going out into the fresh air, Fuxi meets a girl neighbor who offers to play. He refuses, planning to ride a car on the shore of the bay. Then she begs to ride with him, but the girl does not appreciate the admiration of the harsh Scandinavian beauty and asks home. And there, police officers, caused by the worried father of the girl, are already waiting for. He immediately calls Fuxi a pervert and forbids to approach his daughter. Law enforcement officers invite the hero to the department to explain the situation. An experienced employee asks the guy what exactly they play with the girl when she comes to visit. Not finding a crime or malicious intent, he releases a good-natured fat man. In the evening, Fuxi, putting on a suit, goes to dancing. He looks out, but she did not come. After classes, he goes to her house, where, not daring to go, he watches the car. The next day, Fuxi drives a radio-controlled machine in the yard. Local children run up to him and he allows the boy to guarantee himself. But when the child's mother notices that he is mistaken around the fat man accused of pedophilia, he calls him home. Terrified by conflicting thoughts, Fuxi returns to the house of Cien and, breaking the glass, penetrates inside. A mess and chaos reigns in the apartment, and the girl herself sits, locked in a closet, like Tom Cruise in The Room of Stan Marsh. To try to talk, she reacts a request to leave. The hero almost obeys, but the mournful meow of the cat forces him to stay. Having fed the stomach, Fuxi remains in a chair in front of a TV with a pet on his stomach. In the morning, he wakes up on the couch in the apartment of Cyan and prepares a breakfast that leaves in front of the door in the closet. Having tidied up in the apartment, Fuxi is going to leave. Breakfast is still untouched on the floor. He is declared to work to take off for several days. Having received the good, the guy returns to Cyan to change the broken glass. The girl remains with Fuxi, studying the recipes and preparing on them, in the process trying to talk to the mistress. The girl admits that she skipped the work and is afraid that she will be fired. Then Fuxi goes to the landfill to talk with her boss. He offers to work for her shifts. The hero returns to his friend, grabbing a huge bouquet along the way. He carefully opens the door, after which he lifts the girl growing up from self-pity, comforting her that everything will be fine. Fuxi carefully washes the sen in the bathroom, makes sure that she eats at least something, puts her asleep and covers with a blanket. The hero sorts garbage on a landfill instead of a girl. The rest of the workers look at him. Nevertheless, instead of bullying, they invite him after working in a pub to watch football. Returning home, Fuxi also finds a frustrated mother. Hal was thrown by Hahal. Hinting that the son deserves the best than the garbage man in depression, the mother is dripping her son on the brain so that he throws his girlfriend. During the next visit to Cyan, the hero finds her, making repairs to the music. Fuxi leads a girlfriend who has come to himself in a cafe. Closing around the city, they drive up to the former confectionery, which Cyan looked at for her own flower store. Finishing the last shift, Fuxi drinks with new colleagues who, although they make fun of him, but completely silently. When he returns to Cyan, she immediately jumps onto him and drags into the bed. In the morning, Fuxi wakes up in the same bed with a girl. They return to dance courses, and for the first time, instead of a strict costume, he is dressed in a more suitable outfit. Even a cowboy hat with him. Cyan offers to go together on a tourist trip planned earlier, as well as go to a new level and Crucify to live together. But now, Fuxi himself cannot leave his mother alone. The girl is upset by his unwillingness to get out of her mother's skirt, and she leaves. Fuxi runs after her to say that he is ready to change his life. At home, he cuts the table for Wargam, collects figures and toys in the box that the girl neighbor refers. She is not at home. Father, having accepted gifts, apologizes to him for his suspicions. Fuxi, along with the Mordor, takes heaps of boxes with things to the Sen apartment, which nervously goes back and forth. She has a nervous breakdown again. She believes that she makes a mistake when giving up him. The guy has no choice but to transfer things back home. Upset, in the best feelings, he sits in the room among the boxes. Resentment does not let go. Breakfast, Fuxi looks out the window where the snowstorm is about. Snow completely covers the earth, reminding him, as the concern for Cyan overshadowed his unsociable gratuity. At the airport, the guy looks at happy travelers flying to distant countries or returning home with new emotions. He returns to the premises of the old confectionery where, together with the Mordor, it makes repairs. Having finished bringing the store in a divine view, the hero leaves the key to him with a note in the mailbox. Sin. In the next scene, a truck crawls along the concrete field of the airfield with a trailer of trolleys with baggage. But Fuxi watches him from above, from the landing corridor. He, along with the rest of the passengers, is preparing to go on a trip to someone else's and distant country. A runway flashes in the window. Accelerating faster and faster, Fuxi left the comfort zone, broke the connection with the past, and opened something new.